Today, we're going to talk about the differences of living in Thailand versus the Philippines. There's lots of expats who want to leave their countries, whether they're in Europe or America. They want to come to Asia for a better life, for more peace, and a better quality of lifestyle. So today, we're going to explore the differences between going to Thailand, let's say, and retiring, and going to the Philippines. And we're going to assume that a lot of the guys are going to be looking for someone like a companion or somebody to either marry or hang out with or just be with. So we're going to talk about these things. Thailand versus the Philippines. For many years, Thailand has been the leading of the expats going there. You know, Thailand is a nice country. I was there a few months ago. And they have some really nice things that we like from the West. And it's really a beautiful country. And the reason why Thailand was so much in the lead as far as expats before is that the immigrations and the rules were just so easy to kind of maneuver around. Also, for people who smoke marijuana, it's legalized. Whereas in the Philippines, if you smoke marijuana, you go to prison for a long time, possibly get deported, and you get blacklisted from the country, and you get sent home, never to come back to the Philippines again. However, in Thailand, it's legal. I was in Bangkok. I don't personally do those things, but there was lots of like shops where they're selling cannabis in Bangkok, and it's legalized. So if you're from, let's say, California or these kind of states that smoke marijuana, or in Europe that smoke, and you're addicted to these things, it's best not to come to the Philippines. It's best to go to Thailand. And that way you can have your fun, you can smoke, and you won't get arrested. However, in the Philippines, don't come here if you're doing these things because it's considered an illegal drug and it's a very serious crime. Let's get back to immigration now. You know, Thailand had a really nice immigration law, and then they just started getting strict. Perhaps they got like big-headed about the immigrations, and the country gets really like thinking everybody wants to come there. And then they just go ahead and start imposing rules and regulations that are not favorable, let's say, to a foreigner. And so what that does is it drives people away. Anytime governments start getting big-headed and start making lots of taxations, lots of rules, regulations, make it stressful, difficult, the foreigner is just going to go somewhere else. Why? Because there's always another place that has a better place for immigrations and so forth. And that happened in Thailand. They start taxing the foreigners. They start becoming very strict on their immigration. And it just became unfriendly for the foreigners. So the foreigners start leaving Thailand and start getting disillusioned. And Thailand saw that, and recently they made some new adjustments to their immigration law. So, you know, I don't know if it's going to bring the people back, but they're just too overacting. One of the things that I didn't like about Thailand was nobody was speaking English. And some of us don't really know how to learn languages very well. And I believe Thailand's a very difficult language to learn. But everywhere you go, people just don't speak it. There is some English on some of the billboards and stuff, but there's Thailand mixed with it also. But everywhere you go, it's just difficult to communicate. I remember I rented a motorcycle in Bangkok a few months ago, and I was putting gasoline in the motorcycle before I was returning it. And I was at a gas station in Bangkok, and I said to the lady, I said, fill it up with premium. And she started laughing at me like she had no idea what I just said. And then she had to go get her supervisor. And I was pointed towards the premium tank. I said, the premium full tank. And she had no idea, no clue what I said. And this supervisor, who just knew a little English, came over and said, yes, sir. And I said, premium full tank. I don't know how to say that any clearer. And then she said that in Thailand language, and the girls kept laughing. And I was like, I can't even fill up my gas tank without having a big communication problem. So that's a huge difference between the Philippines. and Thailand. One thing I liked about Thailand was, especially in Bangkok, they had lots of nice restaurants and stuff like that. And it was really enjoyable. I enjoyed some of the foods. The malls were fantastic. For me personally, Thailand was fantastic to go there for, let's say, a few days and just enjoy yourself. The temples are just fantastic, and it's a great place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. A lot of people do live there, and they're happy also. So it's not really a bad place. It's just that I think the government has a lot of restrictions, and they're making it hard. And they're trying to adjust that now. Let's talk about the Philippines for a second. I've been in the Philippines a long time, many years, and it's really a great country. You fly into the Philippines, whether it's Manila or Cebu on the international flight, and everybody speaks English. You get off the plane, everything is written in English. Everyone speaks or understands English. It's an English-friendly country. Why? Because they were teaching English in elementary school, junior high, high school. English is taught in almost every school. So people understand the language. And that really helps a lot when you're a foreigner, you're coming to that country. One of the many great things is that everyone understands or speaks English. And that's a big blessing. That's a big benefit for foreigners who are used to going to these Asian countries, pretty much all the Asian countries, and they don't speak English and they don't understand English, and their languages are quite hard to learn and understand for a Westerner. So the Philippines has a big advantage in the language market, and you don't need a translator or anything like that. You can just go ahead and move freely, and it's a nice country. You know, the people are friendly, and it's just safe. And before I came to the Philippines, I noticed that the Philippines was on like a terrorist list in America, and people were saying don't come to the Philippines, and it was kind of a scary place. But I came to the Philippines, and it was nothing like what this sort of propaganda would say. The Philippines is a safe place. It's a nice place. The people are friendly. Everywhere you go. Today I was on my motorcycle, and 5 or 10 people are saying hi to me and talking to me as I'm riding by on the motorcycle. It's just a very sociable, friendly place. If you don't like that, maybe the Philippines is not for you. But the Philippines is a happy place, and the people are good. You know, the Filipinos are good. One guy I saw on the internet today, he said, before I die, I want to see a Filipino and say goodbye. And the guy's like, what? And he goes, because the Filipinos are so happy. You know, you can just talk to them and they'll laugh at you, and you'll just have a good experience. And a lot of Filipinos are good. Of course, not everyone, but Filipinos do have a good name. And the first Filipino I met was named Rick, and it was in California. He worked with my mom, and he was the nicest guy. I never seen a guy so friendly before. He was too friendly. And I said to my mom, like, who is this guy? Like, where'd he come from? I've never met a guy like this before. And my mom says, that's Rick. He's from Manila, and he's Filipino. And I said, Filipino? What is that? I was like 12 years old. So I didn't realize that one day I'd be living in this happy country. But the Filipinos are basically a happy race and a good race.